I told y'all last month, man, that it's still early. Now it's getting a little late in the game, but I think we might see another O lineman come released or something before, or a trade might go down before training camp starts, man. I don't think Jerry Reese is gonna go else. I really don't. I just don't. I think he's a backup. Everybody know it. Reese gotta know it, and I think something's gonna transpire. I thought it was gonna be this Eugene Monroe thing. I just think he probably wants too much money that we were willing to pay coming off surgery like that. I think that's got to be what happened because as a Raven, why wouldn't you take a pick? You'll take a 6th rounder before you just release somebody. So I think the money that the Giants was wanting wasn't they couldn't get it worked out. So I don't know. I'm with Big O. I mean, y'all know I've been screaming Beatty. I don't know why nobody's picked this guy up or what have you, but I think at right tackle, man, I think he could be pretty damn good right tackle, man. I don't want him at left side, but I think right side, he could probably be a pretty solid starter for us, man. Hopefully we can get him back in the fold.
Okay. I thought you had the floor this time, brother, and you giving it up?
Hey, you know how I do, man. I can run my mouth forever, but I be trying to taper my speeches, man, because y'all know I go 3-4 hours just talking.
I know you do.
Y'all don't shut it down, man. You know what I mean?
All right. 929-477-4171. Hey, listen. I want to give my throwback player of the week right now. I think it's important that you guys remember this dude. You don't remember him. He's from the 70s. And I know all of y'all as youngsters, y'all still got, y'all had that chocolate milk going on around that time. And I was already in the other things. So, but I'm going to throw it to you anyway. When I was a kid, and we really, really sucked. Big Blue really, really sucked. We always had, Giant fans would talk about how sorry, they almost prided themselves in how sorry they were. Sometimes, we knew we wasn't going to make the playoffs every year. As long as we beat Philadelphia one game, or maybe Dallas, that was all we needed. That was cool. But everybody agreed that they all loved Ron Johnson, our running back. Everybody agreed with that. And Ron Johnson was a bad boy. He was our number 1 draft choice in '69, 20th pick. He came out of Michigan, and when Michigan was running deep, those great college teams, and he played. He set all the rushing records out of Michigan. One time he had 270 in the game, and he was the first black to be the captain of the Michigan football team. And he was just really a top-notch cat. But we drafted him in the first round. He played 7 years for us. He was the first Giant in history to have a 1,000-yard season. Very first one. He did it twice. And that's those same years, he also had he led us in rushing attempts as well. And he became, I think he was inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame in the 90s, 92. But he was also the chairman of the National Football Foundation. That's really important because 2 years later he got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and that's in '08. He's still with us to this day. He's 68 years old. He's living in he's right out here in a residential care facility where I'm about maybe half an hour away from where I'm at right now. He was a devastating ball player for us, man. He held us up for a long time, man. Now I know some cats that love the old timer Homer Jones. We got him for Homer Jones. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, we got him for Homer. And a lot of fans were pissed at that time. Like, who's Ron Johnson? But he gained 1,000 yards his first year. We beat the Cowboys 23-20. That was important. Trust me, that was important because they came off a Super Bowl and we won like 2 games that year. That was great. As I said, he was our whole offense, man. He had 200. Don't sound like a lot now, but he had 263 carries, man. And at that time, during the 12-game seasons, that was everything. Everything. He also caught 48 48 receptions, and he scored 4 touchdowns there. So he was great, man. You know, he had a bad 1971 season where he got 800 and some odd yards with a thigh injury, but he still played. He insisted on playing because he didn't want to let the team down. He was bleed blue all the way. Then, like I said, he came back in 72, rushed 298 times, got 1,182 yards. That was third best in the league behind O.J. and Larry Brown. And he just kept going. He did well. He had 900-yard seasons all the way throughout 75. And he never played at the Meadowlands. He left before we got there. And unfortunately, he had the Giants let him go, and he went to of all people, the Cowboys. But he couldn't get into the regular season games because they just got they just drafted a new running back named Tony Dorsett. So that was it for him right there. But he was a great, and I'm talking about a great Giant. You know, he's always involved and always doing his thing. And like I said, he's at a residential care facility over here. And, you know, let me tell you, most of his costs is being funded by this plan that the NFL has called the 88 plan. I don't know exactly what the 88 plan means, but I do know it's set aside for veterans of that have played NFL football at a high level and that need help. So I really appreciate the cat. I appreciated what he gave to us during our downtime. So that's my highlight, man. Ron Johnson, the first Giant to ever gain 1,000 in a season, a Michigan State College Football Hall of Famer, and just a fantastic individual. So, Steve, what's happening?
Yes, sir.
What you got?
I'm glad that you brought him up because I kind of remember years ago, and you looking at the Giants' history, you already mentioned that he got traded from last week's throwback Homer Jones. I'm like, ironic how that worked out. Yeah, I kind of remember. I never seen him play, of course, before my time, but you know, studying the sports, man. Yeah, coming out of Michigan, I think it was Michigan. He's from Detroit, I believe. But this was before Giant Stadium. This had to be at Yankee Stadium. These dates you were giving us, like early 70s. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Ron Johnson, man.
Ron Johnson's
throwback player. Chris's throwback. Let's go to Robbie. I have a question for Robbie. Well, actually, I got a question for all you guys because we talked about the offensive line. We highlighted Richburg. Maybe if you want to get a little bit deeper with the other guys, but I want to ask you this because I saw our line kind of struggle within the division. Specifically, nothing made it worse than that Philly game, that Monday night game. Now, we know, how do we match up versus, let's play around with this. How do we match up versus, let's say, I don't know, the guy who got the big contract, Fletcher Cox, Benny Logan, who had a field day with us last year. What about Graham and also Connor Barrow and guys like that for the Philadelphia Eagles? We got to play them twice a year, Robbie. But they're going to a 4-3. I think they were in the 3-4 last year. But I want to see, how do we match up with teams within our division, the opposing D lines? What's your thoughts about that, Robbie?
I mean, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. If you're going in there with the same thing and it didn't work last time, I mean, one big thing I'd say is a different mindset, man. It sounds dumb, but I mean, if you're going in there with the same thing and say that player that was getting beat up on didn't do anything to improve what he was getting beat up on about, I mean, what are you going to do other than go in there, with a different plan? I don't even know what to say, man. I mean, maybe quicker passes, things like that, but I don't know how to answer that question. That's kind of tough, man. I'd say mindset and different play calls, less running, more quick snaps out of the shotgun, slant, things like that. But other than that, man, I'm going to have to bail out on that one. I'm not too sure. Y'all take it away from me.
All right.
This is why we're on a round table.
The Big O, you're actually up next, man.
Yo.
Yeah.
What we could do to match up with the defense in our division?
Yes, sir. We'll use Philadelphia as an example.
Man. I mean, you want to go back to that game? Well, I mean, they embarrassed us that game. I mean, dude. They embarrassed us. It went straight downhill after that game. Embarrassed us. They exposed everything about us. They was the ones who, I think that was the game, where it didn't work, Kane probably, man. I don't know. Man. I don't know, man. I really got to see this work, man. I really want to see what's going on, because still, to me, we are going back to Newhouse again, man. I mean, he's just not that guy, man. He's just not it. He's a good backup at best, man. At best, you got to deal with it. Come on, man. Look at our division. Who he's going to have to face? Dallas. You got Dallas, and you got Philly. Phew.
Washington.
Oh, man. I don't know, man. I really think we just got a question mark there, and we really want to probably address that a little bit just to be on the safe side, because I really think that's going to be an issue for us. I really do. I feel that's going to be an issue, but I'm like Robbie right now, man. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Wow, Steve, you got the fellas speechless tonight. Whew.
Hey, man, I got to be Sports George Andriopoulos on this, man. I got to ask the round table. Got to ask him. What the champ got to say?
Yeah,
I know the champ got something for us. I know he got something for us.
Come on, what you got, champ?
I mean, if we're looking at it realistically, Philadelphia is probably the only defensive line that we have to worry about in the division. As far as I'm concerned, having 4 capable players, you got dudes like Dallas. They got defensive ends, and I don't take Washington's defensive line serious. They no longer have pot roast, and the only true edge rusher that they have is Kerrigan. So I think you could scheme around that. But Philadelphia definitely has it, man, with Graham and of course Fletcher Cox. Barwin is still there. But the dude that gave us the most trouble, man, that dude off the bench, Vinny Curry, he was the dude that couldn't be blocked, yo.
Yep.
In that first Eagles game, man, that Monday night game. He was the dude that pretty much single-handedly wrecked the game. You know, shit. He was the one that exposed Newhouse for the turnstile that he is, and so you know you definitely got to show respect to their defensive line. I will say this though, I think they got the second best defensive line in the league. Well, not the league, but in the division, behind our defensive line. Just because I think we get more, we're probably going to be more stopped at the point of attack with Big Hank and Snacks in the middle. So, but you definitely got to give them respect. Got to see how this is going to look with them going to 4-3. Not really sure if Fletcher Cox fits that. He was playing defensive end, so he's more of I guess he would be more like a nose tackle, kind of like how they was using Hankins, because he was a bigger two guy. So I don't really know, if he could really work as playing the 3 technique defensive tackle in that 4-3. Maybe he can, but it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting. Pugh's coming, look like he's going to be a good guard, and Richburg is coming to his own at center, so it's going to be kind of fun watching them guys go at it 2 times a year this season. But if I had to say I worried about a defensive line in the division, it would only be Philadelphia's right now, just, because I kind of know what they could be capable of. But, I think if we can get some more improvement from the right side of the line.
Okay. All right, who's up, man? Who are we at now, man? We're going to Christian right now. What's your take, Christian?
Obviously, last year, Philly got the best of us, but this year with the current offensive line, assuming these are the starters, game 1, I think they're gonna be better. The main reason is because of the practices. Last year they were going against main player was JPP. This year they got everyone that's on that offensive line. On that defensive line. So the practicing is key to building with that confidence and just improving. Pugh, he's left guard for sure, so he doesn't have to worry about, I'll probably move to this position, maybe, So his mind is left guard. That's it, So I think we're going to be better. It's easy to say that, of course, but a main reason, again, is the guys they facing in practice, So that's what I think.
All right. What about you, G6?
G6 is not right here. He's not here. He's
okay. All right. I don't know, Steve. You know what? I think we're going to have a quicker strike offense this year. Okay, which means that we won't. I think this offense is probably going to resemble Green Bay's offense from about 2 or 3 years ago, when they won those 13 games, where Rodgers was able to deliver that ball out like in 3 seconds, and everyone will seem to be spread out, that kind of thing. And I don't really think it'll be a bad if we have that kind of offense from the passing offense rather. I don't think that'll be a really tough thing to deal with. Running, on the other hand, I'm not sure. I don't know what our run offense will look like. That's my big question mark. That's why I can't really answer that either. Now that I think about it, I thought I had an answer, but when you put it after listening to all the stakeholders and seeing what they had to say, and I'm putting it together, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, are we going to do the running back by committee or the featured back situation again? And if so, how will we be running? Are we going to be running between the blocks of, say, Flowers and Pugh all the time? What are we going to do? I don't know what our running offense is now. So I'm kind of tripped up on a question that I was also thinking about asking. So I'm scratching my head like Rob, man, and So what do you think? What do you think, Steve? Steve? Hi, Steve. Okay. Anybody hear me?
My bad. I'm sorry. My bad. The mute button. My bad. I was actually asking you a question, and I didn't realize. But let me ask you real quick, and we go back around.
Man, that's what happened when you go hanging out with O in the bowling alley, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but it's a real question. Like, if Robbie makes a good point, and I think that's a valid question with the if we got the same personnel, and using Philadelphia as an example, do you think we could benefit attacking their 4-3? Or are we going to be better? Because, Chris, you mentioned another point I didn't really think about, this running back by committee stuff. Are we going to go away from that? I mean, that was the point of getting the new head coach, right, Chris? I mean, that's for Chris,
yes.
And then I'm going to go back around with that question.
Exactly. That was the point. So, wait a minute. So, I don't know. Steve. Are we going back around with what are we going back around with?
Let me say my 2 cents and we'll go back around. But that's one thing about this offensive line, which it was like a carryover from 2 seasons ago. It was the reason why we brought in McAdoo in the first place. I believe a lot of it had to do because we couldn't run block the way we wanted to. We couldn't block nobody. So when they implemented this West Coast offense, he had to get new offensive linemen. We drafted Richburg several seasons ago, Pugh before that, Flowers last year. And I don't think they're great run blockers, honestly. I think they're good. It's like it's give or take. Flowers is good, Pugh is good, Richburg is very good, but going to left or right, it's not the same with the right guard or right tackle. Now, Jerry, to me, if you watch him on trap blocks, like counter plays and stuff like that, he's very effective like that. They're very effective like that. I also like, even if they run, this is when Schwartz was there, they're also good they were good in the screenplay. Do they take a step back with that? Because when the Giants were running, the Giants was never really the greatest screen team. Not since like Tiki. Then they took a break after that. Then when they got Schwartz when he was hurt, and they got back, and then they had chemistry. And that was the one thing Schwartz could do well, was run that screenplay. Do they miss a little bit of that to alter maybe the lack of the run blocking they don't have? Because you can't just pass all the time. You gotta put a helmet on somebody, man, or you gotta get a key yard for a run. I can't remember the last time the Giants had a key first down in a big game. We needed to get a run play, and we got stopped short because we ain't had no push. We need to get a little tougher there, do we? Robbie, what's your thoughts?
Yo, my bad, man. Can you go ahead and repeat that? I apologize. My phone on mute. My bad.
No, just we were just saying everybody's kind of stumbled the matchup between, let's say, Philadelphia. But what about the run blocking? Like, do you think it's really going to improve like people think it can, or no matter how many Snapchats and Instagram videos the players post? If they ain't posting them videos to the opposing team players, I ain't interested. But what's your thoughts about that?
I think the run blocking on this team is garbage, man. That's just the truth, man. There's no other way around it. I don't know, man. These guys are just – I don't know if any of y'all play Madden, man. They have their individual ratings. I view this team as a pass-blocking team, man. I mean –
yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Unblock, dude. It's very split, like another Madden reference. The chemistry between them player-wise and skill-wise, it just doesn't match up when it comes to, pass block heavy or run block heavy. They're pass blockers, man. We can't run the ball, dude. We can't, and it's not even. I can't even blame Rashad Jennings that much, man, because when you watch the film, and we're all diehard Giants fans, we watch it happen. We watch the games. The dude had no holes to run through, and don't get me wrong. I don't like Andre Williams either. I think he had his glory year, and he's very hard. He's not very good. He can't find holes and things like that. I get that, but where are the holes for them to run through, man? They created no holes. Eric Flowers was a little bit off when it came to swing blocking and stuff. It wasn't really his thing yet. He's still coming into his own. Weston Richburg was just kind of holding down the middle, obviously doing a great job. But Pugh's a good run blocker, man, but he can't do it by himself. There was some good plays here and there, but fundamentally, I'm trying to say, I can't talk. Together, they just didn't work as a run blocking group. It's just something we couldn't do. It passing, fine. Eli had a record year, man, and the O-line in that department did a good job, especially people like Richburg and Pugh and them. But run blocking-wise, I don't think it's going to get better this year. I'm sorry. Unless they put in Paul Perkins and he ends up being something crazy out of nowhere, I blame not only the O-line, but I blame Jennings and them too. I think Jennings he struggles as well, and just a lot of things here and there. So maybe new legs, Perkins will help. But I think this O-line just cannot run block to save their lives, man. And I hate saying that, but I can't see that getting any better.
Yeah, I absolutely understand. Big O, what's your thoughts on the run blocking? Big O. All right, let's go to – maybe you got the mute on. Let's go to Sim. Your thoughts, sir, as far as any other areas with the team that you question marks or run blocking? Do you agree, disagree? Anything you'd like to add to Sim?
The run blocking was definitely a question mark last year. I think it can improve this year. It wasn't the best. Pugh and Richburg held it down. Let's be real. Flowers played hurt all year, man. He injured that ankle that first game of the year, that Sunday night in Dallas, and the kid missed one game, and he left many other games for series at a time to come back. And, it's going to be hard for you to anchor down in pass protection, and it's going to be hard for you to drive off the ball to run block people. Coming into the league, the one thing they said he could do was run block, but, for offensive linemen, your hands and your legs, man, is your two most important things that you have. And, he was basically playing on one leg for the whole season. So, if his run blocking really wasn't what you thought it was supposed to be last year, at least in my opinion, I give him a pass for that. The right side of the offensive line run blocking was just god-awful. Let's just be, to quote old man, it just didn't work. It didn't work at all. And, I think a lot of that was because we didn't have any continuity, man. The offensive line combinations we've had over the last few years, terrible, man. Even the beat reporters, man, they said that the last time we started the same 5 offensive linemen for more than a season was 2009 and 2010, man, with with the Deal O'Hara, Soybert, McKenzie, and what you call it line, man. So that look how many years ago that is. We've had at least one different player. Yeah, we've had at least one different player at each position at some point in time every year since 2010. Offensive lines, the best offensive lines you see are the ones that got continuity, man. They've been together a year, 2 years, 3 years. There's nothing like knowing what the man next to you is capable of, what he can and can't do, so you know what you have to do. But when this shit is like shuffleboard, and 1 minute this guy's here, then the next minute the next guy's here, you can't, it's hard to do anything like that. So I think the biggest thing is continuity, man. So I'm not against having John Jerry at right guard, but man, Newhouse got to go. If you only got to replace one offensive lineman out of the group, that's fine with me. But I think it can improve. We'll definitely see how the new O-line coach Solari is going. From all things that I've been seeing and reading, he's got a pretty good rapport with Flowers, and he's a good teacher, man. He's a real good teacher, and maybe it was part of it was coaching, maybe part of it was the skill of the players. We won't know, until they get live and they put the pads on. The only thing I know is all the stops that this guy been at as an offensive line coach, he's been the real deal.
All right, cool, man. Thank you very much. Let's get to Christian real quick. Christian, what's your thoughts on as far as the run blocking? Then we'll try to get another person on, and we'll wrap up.
Run blocking, I think it's going to be vastly improved this year because we got a lot of players that are known for blocking. Main one that comes to mind is Johnson. He played for Pittsburgh, I believe, the last couple seasons. Yeah. Everything I'm hearing from this guy, things I'm hearing from this guy, from writers and some of his ex-teammates are really good when it comes to run blocking. When it comes to the right side, I know everyone has a problem with Newhouse, but I see the team 70% of the time putting either Johnson on the right side or some other tight end on the right side to help out, of course. And most likely leave the left side alone. Hopefully it works out like that, but I just see a lot of tight ends, sometimes even two set tight ends at the same time to help out with the run blocking. Because everyone knows in terms of on the Giants staff that all the writers and the fans keep complaining about the running and offensive line. So I think they're going to emphasize on the tight ends, utilize them a lot to help out on the running.
All right, cool, man. Thank you very much. We got about a couple more minutes. If I got one more minute, we bring on Mike. Mike, if you could give us 1 minute real quick, your overall summary of the offensive line as is, and then we'll wrap up.
I think, first of all, what's up, everybody? I think I only have the Newhouse as my only concern, and that's the only concern I've had. Let's face it, I think that the line will be better this year, but I think that they're still in the hunt for a right tackle. They've been talking about this guy that Baltimore just dropped. I don't know why they released him, if it was salary, if it was performance, but I heard the Giants are looking at him, but that's really all I got. It's Newhouse, man. Everybody knows it's Newhouse, and he's the weakest link. And I think the offensive line will be better. I think they'll be inspired by what the defense does, but we got to do something with that right side. And you know what? If we do something with that right side, the whole squad is instantly better. You know what I mean? Eli did put up 4,000 yards last year with Newhouse over there. So just imagine if he's not. Wow. So, I think we all right with him over there, but without him, man, we got to soar like an eagle. We got to fly high without that kid.
All right.
He constantly lets people beat him, and we just got to improve over there.
All right, cool, man. Thank you very much. Shout outs to all the stakeholders that joined us. Shout outs to Robbie, Big O, and Sim, the G6, Christian. Mike just checked in with us. Chris, myself, Bleed Blue Show, the Offensive Line episode. We'll be back with another week next week, 9 p.m. Other than that, guys, Bleed Blue.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Bleed blue, 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 bleed blue.
Good morning, welcome to Burger King.
I'm looking at this enormous burrito, and man, it's big. I tell you that. Dang. Give me one of them enormouses. Enormouses. Watch out. Let's do it now.
Okay, I think I know what you're ordering.
Get the new Eggnormous Burrito now only at Burger King. A hearty breakfast burrito packed with sausage and bacon, plus eggs, cheese, and hash browns. Only at Burger King at participating restaurants.
Good morning, welcome to Burger King.
I'm looking at this enormous burrito, and man, it's big. I tell you that. Dang. Give me one of them enormouses. Enormouses. Watch out. Let's do it now.
Okay, I think I know what you're ordering.
Get the new Eggnormous Burrito now only at Burger King. A hearty breakfast burrito packed with sausage and bacon, plus eggs, cheese, and hash browns. Only at Burger King at participating restaurants.